Hello everyone, welcome to the explanation of a new problem. So in this video, we are going to discuss the question number 2 of LeetCode Contest 246, the number of full rounds you have played. So a long description, but it is a very easy one. Still, I'm just going to jump over to the example over here. So you have been given two things, a start time and a finish time. So the start time is actually the time at which you start playing the game, and this finish time is when you stop, right? Now, this game is very interesting. It has rounds of 15 minutes, or shall I say, uh, they begin at a quarter hour period. Now, what this means is, let me go over to the whiteboard. Yeah. So you have been given, like, let's say 12:01, and you have been given 12, whatever this means. Actually, my point was that your rounds are beginning at quarter hours, which means that let's say that we are talking about the fifth hour of a day, right? So fifth hour of a day would mean that 500, right? So one round can begin at this time and it will end at 5:15. The second round would begin at 5:15 and end at 5:30. Then it will begin at 5:30. I hope you know where I'm going with this. 5:45 and then 5:45 till 6 hour of the day, right? Why I'm saying hour of the day? It's because that we have been given in this format HHMM, and this clock is actually in 24-hour format. So this 5 is actually 5 a.m. and this 5:15 is actually 5:15 a.m. So rounds in this game will definitely begin at these quarter periods only. The game will not say that, okay, you have joined at 5:01, so I'll begin a 15-hour round for 15-minute round for you, which will end at 5:16. No, that's not going to happen in this game. This game has fixed rounds, right? Now you have been given a start time and an end time. Your job is to calculate the number of full rounds that you were able to play. One thing that you need to keep in mind is that, let me just a second, switch pen. It might also happen that your start time is actually this, and your finish time is, let's say, 0600. Now, how is this possible? According to this scenario, you are beginning your game in the night at 20 hours and you are ending your game in the morning at 6 a.m. Does not make any sense. Well, it makes a little sense. I'm just going to jump over to my calendar over here to explain it to you. Coincidentally, it's 9 p.m. I think I can start my games round. Let's say I began at 9 p.m. right now. This would be 21:00. And on 21st June in the morning, I'm finishing the game at 6 a.m. I played the entire night. I played the entire 20th night till the 21st sunrise, which is at 6 a.m. Right. So this was the logic over here. If your start time is actually greater than your finish time, it means that you played in the night. As simple as that. This is one edge case that we'll worry about later. Right now, let's dive into the explanation of this problem now. We are done with the description. I'm going to use the example given to me over here. Start time is 12:01 and end time is finish time. I don't know why I keep saying end time. It's just a habit. 12:44. Back to full screen. Right. So now this question is purely maths. It does not require any high knowledge of data structures. We know that our game begins at an quarter hour, which is 15 minutes. Right. So the game will not worry that I began at 12:01. Its inbuilt round began at 12:00. So I missed the first minute of the round. And I ended at 12:44. It does not care that I played 14 minutes extra. The inbuilt round, previous round that ended, complete was ended at 12:30. So essentially, I began at 12:01, but my round calculation begins from 12:15 and ends at 12:30. The difference between these two is 15 minutes. I'm just going to divide it by 15 because each round is also 15 minutes. It gives me one. So I was able to complete one whole round. Why I wasn't able to complete more round than this? Because one round that would have can be considered as this. But unfortunately, I began 1 minute late. I was late 1 minute by 1 minute, and I began at 12:01. Similarly, another round would have been 12:30 till 12:45, but I was too eager to get up and go do my work. I got up at 12:44. I was not able to complete this round. I completed only one round. So somehow I managed to change my time from 12:01 to 12:15 and from 12:44 to 12:30. And I divided the difference by 15, which gave me 1. Had this been 12:45, then my nearest round ending would have been 12:45. This would not have been 15. The difference between 12:45 and 12:15 would have given me 30. And 30 divided by 15 would have given me 2. So I would have played 2 rounds, right? So I think you guys would have by now figured out what I'm going to do is, I'm worried about minutes, right? So why should I look at the clock? Let me just convert the clock into minutes itself. Very simple. How do we do that? It's very simple, very simple. 12 into 60 plus 1, and this would be, let me make it back to its original form, was 12:44, right? Yeah. So 12 into 60 plus 44. This is the first example over here, example 1 that I'm trying right now. So 12, 6 are 72, 720 plus 1, 721. This is giving me 721th minute of the day. And I'm going to store it inside us. This is giving me 764. I'm going to store it inside here. Now, let me divide. See, I know that my rounds are beginning at quarter hour, 15 minutes. So let me divide this by 15. 721, 15. This is modulo. So I'm not actually dividing, I'm finding out the remainder. Remainder for this would be 1. Subtract 1 from 15 gives me 14. What if I add this 14 over here in 12:01? I'll get 12:15, which was my viable time to start a complete round, viable time, from where I can begin my round calculation. So I'm not actually going to add these 14 minutes into this R format. I'm just going to add this in 721 itself. So this is basically giving me S, see 721 plus 14, 721 plus 14, this gives me 735, which is actually 12:15. So if you multiply 12 by 60 and add 15, you get 735, right? We reach the start minute of the day where we can actually begin the route calculation. So basically S plus is equal to 15 minus S modulo 15. This is exactly what we are doing. If we are finding S modulo 15, subtracting it by 15 and adding it inside S. And now we need to reach the floor. This was actually the ceiling. This will be the floor. We need to reach the floor of our viable round end. And pretty much same logic. Divide 764 by 15, find out the remainder. This is going to give you 14. Simply subtract 14 from 1244. So 1244 minus the 14, that gives me 1230. And that is my viable end time. Instead of going to actually subtract it from 1244, I'm just going to simply subtract it from 764. F minus equal to F modulo 15. Fine. Now I have my starting minutes. I have my ending minutes. F minus S will give me the total amount of minutes, viable minutes that I played the round completely. I'm going to divide it by 15. Divide it by 15. And that will give me an integer n, which is the number of rounds that I was going to play. Now, before we jump ahead, you guys must be thinking, what if this was 12 and what if this was 12:45? How would I have handled my calculations at that point? So I think finish time would remain the same. Why? Because this would have become 765 over here, 765. This modulo would have given me 0, right? This is completely divisible. And F minus 0 would have remained F itself. So finish time would have remained the same. The issue is in the start time. Let's say that this is 12. So this would have become 720. 720 modulo 15 would have given me 0. 15 minus 0 would have given me 15. And 15 minus, yeah, so this would actually remain 15. And I just uselessly added 15 minutes to my start time, but else I could have added began from 12 itself. So what it means is I'm only going to add this calculation, which is 15 minus s modulo 15, if and only if the start time is itself not divisible by 15. So 720 is divisible by 15. I need not do anything. 721 was not divisible by 15. It was going to give you some remainder. So I'll perform the correction. So a simple if condition will handle that. Acha, how would you characterize that case where I said, sorry, let me erase this. How would you characterize the case where I said that the start time is actually greater than, greater than finish time? How would you characterize it? So the difference would not work in this case, right? Because you were calculating f minus s, and f is something which is smaller than s. Well, that is also very simple to understand. So you played entire night. You switched your day from today till tomorrow. A day consists of 24 hours. 24 into 60 gives you 144. 1440. Like 12, 6, 144. Yeah. So in case where your start time is greater than finish time, just add 1440 in your F. That will automatically make you switch to the next day, and you will not have to worry about the fact that you played overnight. As simple as that. So I hope this explanation was clear. This question is basically a series of if, else, and mathematical calculations. Very easy to write this code after you have seen this explanation. So I would urge you, I would request you, go to your compilers, write this code if you are not able to in the contest. If, however, you feel that you would not be able to write the code, don't worry about that. We are now going to switch to the pseudocode section of this video. I'm going to quickly write the pseudocode over here while explaining it to you how to solve it. Still, I would urge that at least once, you guys should go and try to actually write this problem on your own. Okay, so let's begin with the pseudocode. So I have my start time and I have my end time. Let's say that I perform this calculation of HH into 60 plus MM onto it using some function, some arbitrary function, and let's call it R2 min. This is R2 minutes, right? So my S would be R2 min start time. This is a string that is in the format of HHMM, and basically my F would be R2 min finish time. Now we need to take care of the fact if F is less than S, like I simply said, we're going to add 1440 to it. Perfect. Now what you need to check, like I mentioned, see now what we're going to do is we're going to shift the start to its nearest quarter, and we are going to decrement the F to its nearest quarter. This shifting of S will only be done if S is not already divisible by 50, right? So if S modulo 15 is not equal to 0, which means it's not divisible, then you perform this correction that I taught you, 15 minus S modulo 15. Perfect. And does not matter. The correction on F does not matter on any case. So just simply F is equal to F modulo 15. So now you have your corrected S and you have your corrected S. corrections. What were the corrections that we made? We made the correction for days being switched over here, and we made the correction for S not actually being the quarter. Now, like I mentioned, all you need to do is you need to return an integer, which is going to be represented by f minus s divided by 15. Such a simple problem, such a simple explanation. It's just that you need to take care of all the edge cases, and then you will finally write this code. Yeah, we should also talk about this R2 minute function that I'm using over here. Now, actually, this function can be written in multiple ways. Let me write this quickly. So you have a string. Let me say that your R2 min, it actually receives a string. Let's say str. Okay. So there are multiple ways. I think for Java and Python people, what you can do is you can simply do str is equal to str dot split and split it on the basis of double dot. So this will give you an array which will separate your R and your minutes, right? From now, it's very simple. Just multiply this R, let's say, so you're going to return str 0, which is representing HH into 60, plus str 1, which is representing minutes. I hope you do understand that you need to convert these values into integers first, right? So the split would work for for Python and Java users, not for C++ users. So for C++ users, you have to calculate HH and MM using the conventional way, which is str 0 plus concatenation of str1 will give you HH and str before splitting, right? C++ users forget about the split. You have received your string in HH and MM form. So and str2 plus str3 is going to give you your MM. Convert this SH and MM into respective integers, multiply HH by 60 and add MM and then return. So that's how your conversion is going to take place. I hope this code and the explanation and everything of this about this problem was clear to you. Thank you.